People's National Convention, PNC, has suspended 2 of its leading members and the actually 12 others for misconduct. Now, the former chairperson of the party, Moses Daniba, and former flag bearer, Messrs. David Apasera, is being sanctioned as well for alleged financial misconduct. And Mausi Numon has more in this report for you.
Suspension of the 14 comes at the back of the party's consideration of a court ruling brought against them by the party. National executives of the party concluded that Messias David Apasera and Moses Daniba have violated Article 14A of the PNC's constitution. Party chairman Bala Salahu Maikankan explained the circumstances leading to the suspension.
We had a NEC meeting in Kumasi based on a report one of our member, that was the general secretary, brought up that there is some money that was missing within the party. That is, I think, 150,000 Ghana cedis. So we also sat as a NEC. We even invited then Mr. Daniba and then Apasara for them to come to the meeting, which they refused to come to that very meeting in Kumasi. But then we as NEC, we sat on that very issue, and then we discuss about the issue. So we see that they are guilty based on the allegation that was reported on them. And then we suspended them, thinking that they will come to us to seek for redress. He came back on his own, set up his own members. That is the people that we mentioned, their names. That is one Ajia Ajara Ali, she is the vice chairperson. And then one Mr. Umar Bakore, and then Abbas Nuhu, and Sampana, that is one chairman for Bono region, Richard Jereke, chairman of OT, and Abraham Kaba Hirohito, chairman of Ashanti region, and Siba Sakibu, that's the Greater Accra regional secretary, and then Malam Yakubu Tahir, Western regional chairman, and then Armi Yao, organizer, Ashanti regional chairman, and then Oliver Ganaku, secretary, Volta region, Abdul Samed Nuruddin, secretary, Bono region, and Hidayah, the woman organizer. So based on what he did, he has gone too far, because we suspended you, you went to court asked you to come back for redress, now you came back also creating another issue. So that was why we took a decision today. The same NEC sat here. Since yesterday we had a NEC meeting. Yesterday as around 1 to 2 o'clock midnight, we were still on NEC meeting. So the decision wasn't that easy, but I think we just let it go.
Mr. Mike Kankan believes the PNC has more qualified candidates to contest and run for the 2024 presidential election.
Certainly, Apasara may not be the last presidential candidate. Since 1992, we've been changing flag bearers. Because 1992, it was Dr. Hilal Iman. And then 1996, it was Edward Mahama. 2000, Edward Mahama. Before Asan Ayerga. No, before Edward Mahama, one came, Dr. Yakubu Isaka. After him, Asan Ayerga came. And then Apasara also, as far as he was sacked. So definitely someone might come. We have more who are waiting.
The party is, however, poised to allow the law take its course should those suspended continue to hold themselves as members of the PNC. Mausi Numo's report for Joy News.
Well, this particular incident is beginning to breed a lot of tension within the People's National Convention. Let's hear from the communications director of the party, Ishaq Awood. Thank you for joining us here on The Pulse. So it appears that even your flag bearer has been suspended, and that's the height of tension within the PNC. Why are you taking such a decision as a party at this crucial moment?
Thank you, Bless. It's unfortunate that this is what the PNC has been reduced to, that a group of people who are aggrieved by a decision of the party can just constitute themselves into any organ of the party and decide to issue counter decisions. As you may recollect, somewhere in September last year, we had a National Executive Committee meeting at the Nat Hall in Accra, where a decision was taken to suspend the General Secretary for gross misconduct. And following that suspension of the General Secretary, she has stopped at nothing to ensure that she disrupts the smooth running of party activities. She has been running around everywhere, purporting to have the powers to suspend other officers of the party. And to start with, let me state here clearly and loudly that Mr. David Apasara, as flag leader of the party, Honorable Moses Daniba, as chairman of the party, have not been suspended.
I mean,
they are
so how then can you have executives of your party go ahead to announce such a decision?
Well, I just told you that these are an aggrieved group of members of the PNC. I don't disagree the fact that they are members of the party, but the constitution of the PNC has not given them that power. And indeed, when they talk about holding a National Executive Committee meeting, the party has a constitution, and the constitution stipulates clearly how National Executive Committee meetings of the party can be called and can be organized. So if you have not met that constitutional requirement to hold a National Executive Committee meeting, you can't just call any gathering of party executives a National Executive Committee meeting and then issue directives or decisions emanating from that purported kind of National Executive Committee meeting.
Ishak, is it not the case that perhaps you're jumping to the defense of your presidential candidate, on whose side you may be out of this feud that's emerging within the PNC itself?
Did you hear that I was suspended? Some other executives of the party were suspended alongside the flag bearer and the national chairman. You did not hear my name. I am supposed to speak for the party. I am supposed to defend the party. And I speak to facts and I speak to issues that relate to what exists within the party.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's misconduct within your party, and perhaps that may be another leg of the conversation. Just hold on for me, Ishak. If there's misconduct within your party, some of your members may necessarily feel aggrieved as you're describing them.
And so if somebody is perceived to have misconducted himself, there is a remedy within the constitution of the party. There is a disciplinary committee within the party. The disciplinary committee would have to look into whatever misconduct has been alleged against anybody within the party. Based on the recommendations of the disciplinary committee, you have a standing committee. The standing committee would now have to take a decision, and that decision would even be referred to the National Executive Committee of the party. Ask them whether all of these processes have been followed. Indeed, when she was suspended, and she still continued to carry herself as General Secretary, because she is actually the one who engaged in financial malfeasance, because she took a check belonging to the party from the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Instead of paying the check into the headquarters account, she took it to a northern regional region.
Janet Nabla has denied some of these claims, and you've heard her speak about that.
She can't deny this. I'm not here. This is live television. Bless, you know me. My politics is not to lie or to slander. I will not come here and lie. I am telling you that it is. She's only justifying how she spent the money. She cannot deny that she misappropriated that particular check. But the check was not meant for Northern Region. She took the check, instead of paying into headquarters account, she paid it into Northern Regional account. And that is the genesis of all of these problems. And today, because she took that check and was able to convince some people to benefit somehow from the proceeds of that particular check, she is being supported to continue to run down a former flag bearer and leader of the party.
Well, I guess the
national chairman of the party.
Right. In the end, the concern is about even the fortunes of the PNC. It's dwindled, and given what's happening now, some believe you may not even have a party together to even contest the 2024 elections. Why is the party failing to deal with the cracks that are emerging within your ranks?
The party will not be able to deal with these cracks within the party if we have a lot of dishonest leaders like Dr. Mahama still behind the stage, pulling the strings. Dr. Mahama is the reason for which all of this is happening in the party.
Unfortunately, I need to come in at this point. We don't have Dr. Mahama here to respond to the claims you're making. There's no clear evidence as of now that he's behind the suspension. We heard from those who are doing the suspension. Dr. Mahama
those words are entirely mine. Those words are entirely mine. Dr. Mahama can take me to task. He can sue me for saying this on your network. I will exonerate your network from these words that I have pronounced, but I will say it over and over again that we have expected Dr. Mahama, as the largest beneficiary of the PNC as a party, to have been the one taking decisions, taking action to ensure that we restore the PNC to its glory days. Unfortunately, he is not doing that. He's rather behind stage, supporting Janet and her cohorts to continue to be doing what they are doing. Indeed, like you indicated, I am not happy, first and foremost, as a member of the PNC. Most importantly, as somebody who is supposed to be the mouthpiece of the party, I am not happy that this is what the PNC has been reduced to. But I always assure everybody, we will weather the storm, and at the appropriate time, we will restore the PNC to its glory days, because this storm too shall pass.
What's likely to happen in the coming days, given the fact that quite a significant number of persons have been dismissed, you're contesting that? What are we likely to see in the coming days?
Well, you heard them talk about a certain court decision. They are misinterpreting the decision from the court. The court did not make any ruling against Apasara or Daniba as far as that particular suit is concerned. The court or the judge asked the feuding factions to go back and use internal party mechanisms to resolve the issues and report back to the court. How does that constitute to a judgment being given in favor of or against somebody? So I am saying that they may have genuine concerns about the PNC, but they are being disingenuous. They must speak to the facts. The court did not rule against anybody. The court wanted us to go back and build consensus. And let me be blunt with you. I have refused for a very long time to speak to this particular matter, because I think that it is time for us to build bridges and be building consensus. And when it reaches that point, some of us may be needed. So I didn't want to state my position, because whatever position I state as far as this matter is concerned, you will be seen to be belonging to one side of the faction or the other. But I think that is becoming one too many. They are not prepared to listen. That is why I'm speaking to Joy News. I have refused to speak to several other media networks, because I wanted us not to engage in this needless media war, this needless banter that is not inuring in any way to the benefit of the PNC. But I think that we have to find the best way forward to ensure that indeed we are able to resolve these matters that would put the PNC on the front burner.
So Ishak, as we wrap up, are we set to see any meeting or further announcements from the PNC in the coming days on this?
Of course, like I indicated, the PNC has structures. These are just national executives who have a feud amongst themselves. The PNC has a council of elders. I expect the council of elders to intervene in the not too distant future to find a way of bringing everybody on board so that we could possibly resolve this matter and save the soul of the PNC.
Ishak Awood, I'm grateful that you've been able to join us here on The Pulse now.